give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Welcome back to Wind Tunnel TV. Tonight it's the RGR Racing League live from Talladega for the Talladega 200. Some super speedway action. Gonna be a good one here tonight. We started the season out in Daytona. Here we are 5 races later back on the super speedway. Can't wait to see what happens out here. Should be a good one. I'm Dean Doucette. Joined as always by Mr. Baron Labosco. Baron, we can love it here out at Dega, one of your favorites.
It sure is, Dean. I love Talladega. Come here every year to watch the big boys race out this massive track. 2.66 miles of speed personified. Dean, a couple things about Talladega. One, it's wide open. And 2, you got to have friends.
You do. You need friends. We proved that in race 1 at Daytona. Very similar, super speedway. And Team Speer got hooked up and they got short pitted the field and took off, Baron, and they were gone. Do you think they could do it again? And do you think the rest of the field says not this time?
Dean, honestly, if you were at Daytona and you were in that field and you watched them walk out to a 16-second lead under green flag, you had to take notice. So tonight, I think we're going to see a lot of deal makers and a lot of deal breakers. We're going to see a lot of guys try to manufacture the same results with their own team. I don't suspect we see a 16-second lead again, but anything's possible, Dean, and hang on, because even though you're chasing Team Speer at a plate track, be aware, that big one's lurking.
Yeah, definitely lurking. We look in on the points here. Team Speer, it's Jason Speer who took the lead there at Daytona with that win. He has not relinquished that as of yet. He leads over Greg Ratliff, William Gay in 3rd, Tony Ratliff 4th. It's George Dibble, Ricky Williams, Todd Gilly, James Ledford, James Abear, and Mike McMillan in your top 10. But we've had a couple of race winners down, below the top 10, like Person, Brutes. You got Adam Newton out there. So some of these winners not in the top 10 in points yet due to participation. What do you expect here tonight? A little shake up in the points, or Jason Speer's got to be one of the favorites here, and he's your points leader.
I think when you point to favorites on a track like Talladega, you have to look at Team Speer. I think they prove that they can put it all together and manufacture a race win at Daytona. Nothing indicates to me that anything has changed on that roster, so I look to them to be a contender, if not the leader in this race. To your point earlier, Dean, what the rest of the field does with that is up to them. But I think tonight we probably had some racers take notice, cut some deals in the garage with each other to say, hey, if we stay together, we might have something for them Speer boys.
Yeah, I mean, I think they definitely learned from that experience, and but you can't sleep on Team Speer. They're very adept at what they do. We'll be looking to see how these teams, how these friends work together, especially coming to pit road if we do make it to green flag stops, and we know you love your green flag stops, Baron.
Yeah, we sure do. And this is a make or break stop, even though it's a giant track. Everybody thinks, well, it's a big old track. You're in a pack. You can catch right back up again. That is not the case. When you've got talent like this in this field that is that adept at plate racing, every little tenth matters. And fuel may become an issue tonight before it's all said and done, Dean. So pit stops, they play a critical role in who's going to win this race.
They really do. As we get into tonight's starting grid here, and it's Team Speer on the front row. Darren Bruce leading the way with a time of 56.013, and he's got teammate Adam Newton on the outside of row number one. Row two will feature a couple of Williams, and it's Williams and Williams the third. That's Ricky and Klaus in row two. Ken Holland and Jorge Rincon in row number three, Fred Lester and Brian Tiffany in row four. It's Gadina and Simple in row number five. Look a little further back here. You've got Lester. I think I missed someone, but Passmore and Travis will be in row 7, Aber and Palmer in row 8. It's Person and Speer in row 9, Walker the second, and Thomas Wolf back there in row 10, McMillan, Gay, Ratliff, Whitting, your top 24. And I think we got a couple of more. Yes, you got Musial, Ratliff, Speer, Gilly, and Dibble rounding out a 29-car field here tonight, Baron.
Yeah, interesting to notice the Speer team is in the back of the field. I don't think they took time under qualifying. So it appears to me like they have decided that they're going to lay back there and wait for the mayhem to start before they make their move. But Dean, a lot of good cars in the field. We passed up on Michael Titanium Everett. So the 14 machine, he's with us tonight in this field up there in the 11th starting position. So good looking green truck there. And if you're out watching us in YouTube land, Plate Racing's an amazing race. Shout out your favorite driver. Shout out your favorite thing going on with Wind Tunnel TV. 2.6 miles of fun. I love this track, Dean.
I think we missed Matthew Semple in the 18 as well. He'll be starting in 9th or 10th position back there. And yeah, definitely shout out your favorite drivers. These boys just about ready to get started here in the Talladega 200. He's kind of thinking about coming off. I'm not too sure. He's not fully engaged off the track yet, but he's making his way off.
Long, slow drive to that restart box.
Yeah, it really is. Darren Bruce leads him down there slowly but surely.
Green, green, green.
Green flag drops. We're down and away in the Talladega 200.
2x2 all the way back to the end of the field, Dean, and don't look for a whole lot of shenanigans right off the rip, but you will see teammates jockeying for position to get lined up with each other. Safety in numbers, right, Dean?
I guess. I'm not sure it's safety in numbers out here tonight, but it could be. I mean, I like to be at the back, and I don't even want anybody around me right now, but
Adam Newton's got a buddy right now. He is really pushing that 2 machine down the back stretch.
yeah, that's the 16. The Klaus Williams in there giving a good shove to the 2. The 10 also, Ricky Williams giving our leader a push. So we're going to see here quickly. You're going to find out if that outside line's got the power or not. But with only 2 cars really working it, it's going to be hard for them to get there.
Yeah, the draft is a tricky thing, and while the 16 is all over the 2 right now, he really needs that 22 machine behind him to help him out and shove that 2 machine out front.
Yeah, that Newton's going to drop down and take the lead. So Newton, who won last week, going away. I mean, he's going to drop to the back. I'm not sure about this move from the 2. He got pushed to the lead and said, thanks for the push, but no thanks. I'm going to the back, and this could be dangerous. He heads into the corner, trying to merge up. Wow.
Yeah, that, well, I guess, if you don't want to be out front, now he's kind of got him in the middle of the pack. See if he, he goes back to the apron. He wants out of there.
I don't mind taking a couple of shots at Adam, since how I know him personally. That seemed a little fraidy cat there, Baron.
Well, he may not have been comfortable with the driver behind him pushing on him.
Yeah, I don't think he was. It's quite early. Klaus gave him a heck of a push. He did a good job, by the way. Stayed off him. Good, clean push by Klaus. I don't think Newton was ready to race like that this early. I don't mind the move. I'll take back the fraidy cat comment. So everybody doing a nice job here. The outside trying to get organized behind Rick Holm on the outside in the 28 machine.
Yeah, I had a 3-wide situation there, but I think that was somebody just moving to the back of the field.
Looks like that's Tiffany and Semple behind them, and it looks like Darren Bruce heads up to the high side.
Looks like there's a 3rd lane forming. So early in the race, these guys starting to get a little racy. Here comes a 14, the 88.
Wow, 14. Michael Titanium Everhard up here. He's got the 88 of Paul K. Travis up there racing. He's got that ribbon still representing your breast cancer or cancer in general. Looks like Ricky Williams has checked out. He wants no more part of this. 10 is going to the back.
Now the 44 jumps on the high line there to help those boys out. So the high line is formed, and they're up there, Dean. Just the 3 of them.
3 wide, a little nutty here early on, but if you can do it, there's lots of room here at Dega.
Now, if they get some more help up there, Dean, they can check out on the field. I've seen the high line work several times in these races. I've been a part of it. You get 3 or 4 guys up there, they don't have to lift at all. They're just wide open up top, and guys will take off.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I mean, there's no reason you can't run 3 wide here. The only question is, should you risk it early or not? But you can see how much room here, and I mean, there's a ton of room. I think you could fit 5 or 6 wide here.
It's been done, but not successfully in a lot of cases, but it has been done.
I think it's worth a try.
Sure, why not? Lap 5 of 76. So we do have a 3rd line form. 3 guys up top, 2 more next coming to catch up. That inside line is starting to drop.
So you got these up here, about 15 cars running 3 wide. And if you look towards the back there, you have a whole lot of people saying, I don't like what I'm seeing. They are single file at the back, taking it easy.
Yeah, they sure are. They're out there just watching to see what happens, and if there's any mayhem, they don't want to be wrapped up into it. So you can see them single file on the bottom. All of them got an eye out up front, making sure that they see any bit of tire smoke. They are checked up and trying to go into wreck avoidance.
I'm just not seeing anything too aggressive here. It is 3 wide. That by itself shows a little aggression. But they're keeping well spaced here. Everything looks pretty safe to me so far.
I agree. You get into trouble when these guys think they know how to side draft. And that's the real problem. Some guys will move down to take the air off of the car that they're next to, slow that car down, and then attempt to move forward. If you don't do that right, or if the guy below you happens to steer up just a little bit, well, we touch and now we got problems.
So Klaus Williams, your race leader here, he's got Semple back there pushing him. Everybody really quite spaced out here. The middle line, I think that's Cohen in the middle still in the 28 machine, and it is. And he'll be riding around 3rd and 4th position. Fred Lester's showing his way up there. Good to see Fred up here.
Yeah, Fred, veteran racer. I haven't seen him on plate tracks before. I've always seen him on short tracks. So this is a new discipline for me and Fred, and he's showing himself up there in 4th place, 5th place now.
You have the 35 of Brian Tiffany up there in the middle. He's doing well, along with the 38 of Musial. He's moved up 17 spots, so Jacob showing no fear here in the 38 machine, Baron.
Coming forward and trying to get his truck on TV. He's done that. Well done, Dean.
44 of Gay was up on the high side. Looks like someone else jumped up there in front of him. Or no, not in front of him, behind him. It was the 88.
3rd line trying to form again here.
Yeah, they're getting a little ragged here, a little spaced out. But again, I don't see anything too crazy up here. And lap 8 is 76. Certainly no time to do anything crazy.
No, definitely not. Guys need to understand where they are in the race and what point in the race you're at. So lap 8, you can't win it. You can lose it, though.
Well, some of these guys could be thinking, too, that, last race, Team Speer got up here, and they just dominated. Now, that was after pit stops, though, but these guys might be looking, trying to position themselves in front of those guys. Now, does it matter, Baron, at this stage of the race? You know, personally, just a full disclosure, I always like to say the race doesn't even start until the first green flag stop.
Yeah, I think you're right, Dean. And as we observe, Team Speer's at the back of this pack. They're back there just hanging out and waiting. I think, to your point, they will short pit, and when they do, they will get lined up and push like hell. There'll be nobody else around them, so they can go like hell if they want to. And when the rest of the field pits, they will probably have a few seconds lead on the field.
And they got brother Daryl Speer out there tonight as well in the 32 Caterpillar machine. He's back at the rear with his brother Jason right in front of him, and Bernard Person, Mike McMillan in front of them. So the four of those guys hanging out at the very back. And if you're going to go to the back, that's where I like to be, Baron. I don't do the half measures. I want to be at the front, I want to be first, and if I'm at the back, I want to be last. Yeah,
exactly. Me too. I don't want to be anywhere in the center there. That doesn't make any sense to me. So these boys up here 3 wide, they're doing a great job, but the one little misstep causes that whole front pack to be a mess, and that's where my fear comes from. We got one on the inside just looking to drift back again.
Yeah, that's Klaus Williams there. He looked to get out of it a little bit. I think he feels a little trapped there. He didn't want to get trapped heading into the corner on the underneath the yellow line, so he jumps back up here. Not sure what exactly was going on with the 16.
So for everybody at home, if you're wondering why these guys are playing so cautiously at the moment, this is a league where they do not have any such thing as a faster pair. You dent it, then you got to fix it. It's that simple. So the slightest touch will slow these trucks down, and these guys are making sure they don't make any mistakes, at least not yet.
So Rincon looking to lead a lap here on the inside. Klaus Williams on the outside. How about Danny Passmore? I think this may be his debut. He's showing in second place right now.
Give him a little shove to the 22 there. He's got the 38 behind him. Willing to help out a little bit. Up 22 positions, so Musial on the podium at the moment.
He's out of Buffalo, New York, so he's looking to stay left, Baron. He's had enough of going right.
Yeah, and Buffalo's under a ton of snow, so lucky he's got an internet connection right now.
It's a little wide right reference there, Baron, in the football game.
Oh, I see what you did there. That's clever, and I missed it.
Yeah, I missed that one.
Not for your Detroit Lions, though.
No, we don't need to kick field goals, Baron.
Score touchdowns.
Matter of fact, our coach doesn't believe in it. So lap 12 is 76. Rincon, your new race leader. Passmore in second. Williams, Musial, and Tiffany, your top 5. You got Gay, Everhart, Travis, Allen, Palmer, David Palmer in the top 10. Let's get a look in on David Palmer. I believe a newcomer as well in that 41 machine.
Not a bad looking little car right there.
PSR TV. Now, I don't know if they're competitors or not, but we wish them all the best and got some good sponsorship on that truck.
Yeah, it looks like it. And, more power to them, man. The more folks we got out there broadcasting these races, the more exposure we get.
That's right. So they continue to run 3 wide here, Baron. This is fairly impressive. I mean, 3 wide right from the start. They're not shy. Now, it's not too deep and it's not too aggressive, but 3 wide's 3 wide. They're not shy here.
No, not at all. And we see the center line kind of dissipating right now. Guys looking for a place in the bottom or in the top. I suspect after a minute here we'll get back to 2 wide here, but I've never been right about these kind of things. And just 2 cars in the center there, and top line has only got 3, so the bottom line really the moral majority of trucks right now.
Gay heads up on the high side. He's got the 88 with him of Paul Travis. Now he's going to drop down. Or no, they're still up there. Quite strung out here, Baron. Lap 15 is 76. It'll be interesting now. You know, to get a third of the way, you got to get to about lap 25. I'm not sure if they'll get there or not.
Well, what we're seeing is a lot of guys being real careful with the way they're racing right now. So that inside line is the way to go. Oh, and that was close, and that's the reason why.
Yeah, Klaus Williams looking to come down, but there was no room, so he'll stay up in the middle. I mean, I just can't believe the room there is at Talladega, though. There's just so much room there.
It's awesome. Love it. Absolutely love it.
Now, you go there quite a bit. What's some of the favorite things to do around Dega? Is there a favorite snack, a favorite camping ground? What you got?
Well, I'll be honest with you. Up until last year, they always had local peanuts at the track. They were delicious. Salted. Absolutely wonderful, an absolute track staple, truckloads of them eaten, and you can see them all over the stands because people put the shells down. It's a good time. But the state bird is Busch Light, so there's a lot of that going on too.
It seems like we might have some sort of, internet issue here. I'm not sure where that's coming from. It might be over on Facebook. I'm not too sure. But it seems to have cleaned up right now at the moment. But let us know if you're experiencing any difficulties, and we'll let you know that there's probably not a lot we can do about it. But we'll darn well try.
So lap 17 of 76 right now, still somewhat 3 wide out here. We got 1 car in the center, 2 up top, and your leader, Klaus Williams, been out there with a lot of help lately, and I guess if it's working, don't fix it, right? So he's out there. The center line got a little organized as we might have a quick lead change here.
It looks like YouTube might be experiencing a little difficulty. Like I said, hit us up in the chat if you're experiencing anything out here.
To 2 wide here. So they go down that long front stretch there towards the checkered flag. For those of you new to Talladega, right, checkered flags at the end of the front stretch, right about there.
And I'm going to see if I can do something with this, so we'll just leave you for momentary here.
You're leaving the baby alone with a knife? Are you kidding me? Let's do something fun. So lead change now, the 14 of Michael Titanium Everett out in front now with help from William Gay in the 44 machine. And he drifts down into the first line and gets him a little backed up there. Klaus Williams cuts him some slack, so no trouble there. But new leader here in the 14 machine.
So we tried all we can on this end, Baron. We'll see if that screws itself up for them in a little bit. And hopefully it does.
Cool. Are we live and in vivid color on YouTube?
Everything is still live. We're just noticing some drop frames, and the bit rate is a little low, so people might be experiencing some blurred vision and whatnot. Hopefully it all clears up for you. Seems to be getting quite strong now, so everything should be cleared up.
Cool.
Michael Everhart out here leading the way. Klaus Williams in second. Riccone, Gay, and Passmore your top 5. Musial, Tiffany, Palmer, Alland, and Lester in the top 10. And they're almost breaking away here. If we go back quite a ways, you can see there, this group here, falling back a bit. They're not too worried, though. They're formed up. I'm sure they're running them down as we speak.
Well, if you notice right there, there's a lot of cars from that Speer group right there, so.
We have guys on pit road coming off of pit road. We check our pit board here, and you can see Ratliff, Whitting, Dibble, Gilly, Walker, and Ratliff. So the 2 Ratliffs both in. And now we got Gay coming in with Musial and Semple.
Got one truck around. So Gauntlet has been thrown. Yeah, Gauntlet's been thrown down here. We'll see how long it takes for them to get organized and get together. It wouldn't be too long now, Dean, before the rest of the field starts to think about coming.
Well, this is interesting. So lap 22, the first pit stop. That's a good short pit here. So they're first in, not Team Speer this time. And we're going to see and find out if this has some sort of an effect.
The biggest question is, can they make it all the way?
Well, that is a big question. I mean, maybe some of these guys can. I mean, probably a lot of guys been saving some fuel. But do you want to save not only this run, but each and every run, Baron?
I think it's smart. But to your point at the beginning of the broadcast, we truly need to know what the fuel capacity is before we can make an educated decision when to pit. So some guys are short pitting right now, Dean.
Very interesting. Everybody lined up. William Gay does go a lap down with that spin he had on pit road, so he's in trouble. He's going to need help here tonight.
Yeah, he's out there by himself too, so it won't be too long before the pack tracks him down. Now we got a bunch more on pit road now.
Yeah, Klaus Williams in, Riccone, Passmore, Travis, Eberhardt, Wolf, and Tiffany hit pit road here on lap 24. So interesting. Almost there, not quite to that third way marker. Michael Ware resumes in the lead here, the 75, the Reese's Pieces machine.
Yum.
You're a fan, are you?
Oh, yeah.
I've never been a Reese's Pieces guy. I feel bad about it, though.
Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, Reese's Pieces, yeah.
Whoa, Freudian slip, folks.
Absolutely.
I didn't know you were like
I haven't had a drop. There we go, more Reese's Pieces.
Ware hits a little smoke there on the brakes.
A little timid getting in there for the 75 machine, but he's going to be just fine. He'll pick up his friends and they'll carry on.
So interesting. Guys pitting on lap 22. Guys pitting on 24, 25. Here we go with the Speer group and a few others. And they're still out here, still milking it. And they need to do one bonus lap. If they can get one more in, they're going to feel pretty good about themselves. Auckland, Palmer, and Ware on pit road. You see the boys go by, so they're going to do one more here.
They got something figured out, Dean. A couple more break off. Looks like Speer's coming in.
This is the end of lap 25. This is not enough. So I'm not sure. I agree with all this. Ricky Williams stays out by himself. He'll assume the lead, but he's all alone, Baron. That's a lonely feeling out at Dega.
Yeah, and he'll get his doors blown off when the pack catches him. So all but one in, and everybody's got their service. Full tank of gas, Mr. Feelgood's, and on the way.
And here come our leaders, Greg Ratliff. They are going to smoke by the rest of them in Team Speer. So Team Speer has been speared here.
Yeah, they sure have. This group short pitted, got together, and got going in a fast way, and they are absolutely now in the driver's seat of this race.
Wow, Ricky Williams, Greg Ratliff, Eric Whitting, George Dibble, Todd Gilly, Michael Walker, and Tony Ratliff out here leading it. Ricky Williams coming in now. This is wild. So our second group, you got to go back to Passmore, Everhart, Travis, Racone, Semple, Klaus Williams, Tiffany, and Wolf. And then you got the third group is your Team Speer guys. So, wow, this is not what we expected here tonight.
But it is similar strategy, right? We saw this happen at Daytona with Team Speer. Now Greg Ratliff leads the front five. They got a 4-second lead off the second group, and then back to the third group, it's a 3-second lead. So guys are getting organized right now, and I can tell you that if you're in this second group, you got to go like hell, right?
Oh my goodness, do you ever? Lots of pushing going on. These boys are working hard. You see Adam Newton there really pushing. We're trying to get a close-up of it. He is all over Fred Lester, and he's wobbling around a little bit because he's so focused on that bumper, he can't see anything else, man.
Yeah, and that 45 machine needs to be real close to the 2 so you can maximize that push, but slow, easy movements on the wheel, keep it nice and center, and run like hell here.
And our leader's doing the same thing, so you got Whitting pushing Ratliff, and they're trying to stay nicely formed up here.
This is when it really gets fun.
This is the fun of Daytona. I mean, you can have your 3 wide and your 4 wide, but you can also have this. It's just a time challenge out here. We're doing time trials right now, man.
Yeah, we sure are. That second group is slowly catching the front group. They've whittled the lead down to 4.3, now 4.2. So they are coming, Dean.
Yeah, they're hanging in there. The third group is catching the second group. So now the problem is they're trying to go around them on the high side. Will this help or hurt? I'm not too sure.
Well, that's Team Speer up on the high side there. They have decided to go all together. We got some more takers there to join them, so we'll see if they continue on around and then sail off again. But if that high line forms, Dean, they'll track these boys out front down.
Very interesting to see if 2 wide can beat single file. Team Speer just went by the whole pack. All 4 of them could go down now, and they will. Wow. Power move from Team Speer.
Yeah, so 4 trucks got together, got organized, and managed to cut almost a half a second out of the leaders.
Yeah, they're coming in a hurry, so they're going to run them back down. It's just a matter of time now. Up front, these guys, you know, they're organized, but they're not pushing quite as consistently. You see that back end fanning out. It's just not as together.
Yeah, it's slowing the rest of them down when they do that. So that second group will catch these boys, and then it's on again.
And it's a heck of a big group, Baron. Look at them come hunting.
So these Speer boys almost separating themselves from the pack for a minute until they got smart.
Yeah, they almost ran away. Now the gap to the race leader down under 4 seconds. Not really going down too fast, but it is going down.
Yeah, and they're 3 wide again, Dean. And somebody would say, well, that's a bad strategy. But actually, the bigger hole in the air you punch, the faster these trucks go. Shouldn't make any sense, but it does work.
We have seen that in the past. There are definitely times when the pack's big enough that, you know, the more wide you are, the better and faster you'll be, actually.
So under 3 seconds now, this second pack can sniff them. It won't be long before they've catching them.
And you look at this lead group: Greg Ratliff, Whitting, Dibble, Gilly, Walker the second, Tony Ratliff. Now these guys are out here. They're all up about 20 spots each, man. So they rode around the back and played their time, played their cards right, and they had this strategy in mind. The only problem is they got 3 guys pushing and 3 guys lagging, and it's really letting that back group come up to them.
Yeah, and you're screaming louder now. Tell them to get in line. Stop racing each other, and it's not going to do them any good. 310 back to the second group.
Yeah, they're coming. They're coming in a hurry, and they got a bridge car in front of them too. That's only going to help. It's kind of like a bridge quarterback.
You know, Bailey Zappi or Mac Jones. Just saying.
Can I feel sorry for New England?
No, we are not looking for any sympathy out here.
Oh, they're wrecking on the high side. Big wreck. Lots of guys spinning. There goes a 28.
Yep. Pandemonium, Larry. It's cars everywhere.
Wow. That was not good. Looks like McMillan and Tiffany involved. Let's get a look at it. Right there. Bam.
Well, let's back it up a little bit.
That's Fred Lester there. I'm not sure what exactly happened to him. Going around, Newton's pushing him, and he just drifts up the track, and he gets right into the 14.
Just comes up the track, and
McMillan gets a big piece of it. The 28 gets a big piece of it. That's for Cone. 35's involved.
Carnage on the field.
That's Tiffany. So very unfortunate for some of these guys, and of course all the strategy flushed down the drain. We're approaching halfway here in the Talladega 200. So now you're looking at a one-stopper, and it'll be a lot different now. You'll take your pit now, and there'll be one more stop. If we go green, it should be quite interesting from here, Baron.
Yeah, it sure will. Guys will be playing the fuel strategy game now. So can they make it, Dean, and go half the race on one tank?
The one stop from here, after this stop, they will be able to make it.
Yeah, so another stop coming.
The boys all head down pit road. We got another group still not quite caught up. That's going to be these boys here. They're coming in now. Wolf, Palmer, Gadina. Basically everybody's in. I don't foresee anybody staying out.
There's not a lot of reason to do that, you know, especially if you can't make it again. You got to do another stop, so you might as well get fresh ones, get fuel, and then at the end of the race, do your fuel mileage gauge, right, Dean? Get your abacus out.
Oh, not that thing. I have it on the ground, Baron. I use my toes to flick it around.
Still doesn't help you any. You get mad.
I
Start clubbing baby seals after you get mad.
I get very angry. The club is very bloody.
Yep.
So everybody getting their service done here on lap 34. Looks like Whiting going to come out in the lead.
Is it Whiting or Whiting?
Don't start with me.
Tomato, tomato.
So hopefully the streams have all cleared up. Everything looks good on this end at this point, folks, and we certainly are sorry for any any problems you're experiencing out there, and hopefully you didn't experience any.
That would be nice. Talladega never disappoints you, Dean.
No, sir, it does not. Very interesting race here. As we approach halfway, like I said, I like where we're at right now because throw fuel mileage out the window, Baron. I'm not into fuel mileage at Daytona or Talladega. I want to see the boys race, and that's the mode we're in now.
Under caution here, just halfway at lap 35 of 76 at the Talladega 200 here with the RGR Racing League. It's a hell of a Thursday night to be out here at Talladega, Dean, my favorite track.
Definitely Thursday night racing, always one of my favorite nights to go racing.
Sets the tone for the weekend.
It does. You can go into work with either a great attitude because you're in victory lane, or you can take it out on your fellow employees, all your losses and crashes.
Hell yeah.
Or if you're lucky enough to have employees, then that's a whole different game, Baron.
Totally agree. I don't have any employees. Nobody counts on me but me, and that's a wonderful thing.
It truly is. So Whiting and Bruce has made his way up to the front here. Ratliff, Walker the second, Tony Ratliff, and you got Gilly. How about Todd Toadman Gilly up here in sixth? He's run a good race. He was part of that front group. Good to see Gilly having a good run.
Yeah, and you know, he played his cards right. It was nice to be in the back, but now they're up front. They're holding the lead, and now it's all watching that rearview mirror, see who's coming.
Hometown of, what is that, Moon Township? Or Moon TWP, Baron? Not familiar with that one.
I'm guessing Moon Township, yep.
The Gilly Brothers Band 2022 World Tour. Wow. I wish I could go see that.
Sounds like a good time.
It certainly does. Whiting going to lead him down to the green flag as we head back. Green flag action starting on lap 37. We got a blinker there. That's Gilly blinking in and out, I think. Or that's Tony Ratliff, actually.
That's green flag.
Nice clean start by everybody. High side not quite lined up, so they're going to fall back a little bit here.
Great side-by-side racing here at Talladega. This is exactly what you look for every time we come to a plate track. Love what I'm seeing out here, Dean. It's a lot of fun.
From the inside of George Dibble here, you can see how hectic it is from inside the car. It looks calm from the top looking down. You get in these cars, and we're riding 200 miles an hour, Baron. Side by side. Let's get a look at our miles an hour. It's 184, 185 right here in the corner. And
you can see right now he's just checking up a little bit. He's In the turn right now, trucks tend to slow down a little bit. Down the back stretch, he'll pick up some speed there as he closes in on that truck in front of him. And this is an effort. There's a little air bubble between the rear bumper of that truck and the one in front. And you see they're moving forward, Dean.
Definitely moving forward here on the high side. Got that Kylie glass truck right in front of them. That's going to be Gilly. Of course, they're the title sponsor here. Go check them out, Kylie Glass. All your bong needs, your little one-hitters, and various other paraphernalia you can go get at Kylie Glass.
Love this nice, easy racing on the high line here. These guys are not too concerned with what the bottom line's doing. They're staying in line themselves. Get a nice run down the back stretch.
Yeah, a little wiggling, but that's par for the course, isn't it, Baron?
Yeah, it sure is. These trucks are punching a pretty big hole in the air, and it causes them to dance around a bit.
So you see here, they're starting to dance. I think we got guys thinking about a third lane already.
And they just shuffled a guy out there. That's the 22 machine, and he's going to go to the back now unless he gets some help.
28 of Racone up there on the high side. Thomas Wolf coming by. Haven't talked about Thomas. Good little run for him so far, the 91. Staying right in the thick of this thing.
Well, 3-wide situation. These guys have volunteered to go up that top line again.
Well, they do enjoy it, and I enjoy watching them do it. If you can do it and do it clean, why not? So everybody grouped up now. Nobody really going for the single file, stay at the back strategy anymore, man. And quite frankly, this is the time when I might be back there. I'm a bit of a scaredy cat myself, man.
See, I play it a different way when I'm at these tracks. When we get about 20 to go, I need to make my way to the front. And I need to be up there to avoid all that mess that happens with 10 to go.
But you said the key thing, with 20 to go. We're at 35 to go. There is a lot of time left in this race. And we still got green flag stops if they can make it that far green flag.
Right. Exactly. I'm just saying how I handle it.
So Klaus, he fades back to the back again. Klaus Williams drops back to 18th and gets back in line. Little wiggling here. Looks a little nervous energy here in the middle of the pack.
No need to get nervous right now, but we do have laps ticking off. This is going to become a very pressurized situation, Dean, and these guys look like they're trying to get organized in their teams.
Definitely people trying to find their friends and get with their friends. You see the 8 machine, that person working his way up on the outside. He's trying to find some of his teammates. More wiggling and bouncing around. Guys going high, guys going low.
This is also a time where you figure out how good you are. Right, so some guys may try to come from the back to the front just to see how many laps it takes them to get there, and they'll move their way through the field to get to the front, and they'll have a ballpark of what it's going to take at the end of the race.
Yeah, well, that's something I like to do. If I'm going to run that third lane with someone, I'm going to get up there and test it out. Let's take a run up to maybe the top 5, and then we can just kill it and go back to the back again. So the perfect strategy, Darren. I love that you said that, because it's something a lot of people will do, and you might find that, you know, it might take you 2 laps, or you might find it might take you 5, and that's some great knowledge to have for later. Right now, still winning in front. He's got Racone on the high side, challenging, and of course, you got Gadina up here now in the 26 machine. He's pushing on the high side. Haven't called him out here tonight.
Yeah, so he's got a nice truck tonight. You know, he's only up 7 spots, but he's in the front of the field, and he has been all night, Dean. Look for him to be a contender when this thing draws to a close.
He's having a good run as well. You got Jason Speer, your points leader now. He's a little banged up there. You can barely see his numbers on the side there, Baron.
Looks like he's got a little contact, but he's up there in the 5th spot. He's pushing on that 9 truck of Tony Ratliff. So, yeah, Jason Speer looking to assert himself here.
Yeah, definitely. He's pushing hard here, trying to get, I think that's Thomas Wolf in the 91 he's pushing. He's trying to take him right up to the front here.
And with no teammates around him, Jason's on his own here, so doing what he can.
Yeah, teammates all on the bottom, quite a little further back. Things fairly calm here on lap 45 to 76. We're getting into that window now, that pit stop window. It's not quite there, Baron. They're going to look to make it over about 52 to 54. We'll see pit stop, so another 10 laps or so.
See if they don't get lined up and organized on the bottom. You'll start seeing some short pits again, Dean. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of what the max you do. We've seen guys run 25 laps. That would take you back to lap 51. That might be like the point where you might see someone try, but you also got to think about you're not saving, you're going to be really going. So I'm thinking 53, 54 might be the time when you see the first guys in, but who knows?
I like your spirit here, Dean. Go Lions.
Oh. Gotta love the Lions, folks. Root for them, cheer for them, pray for them. We've lost long enough.
Yep, I'm solidly on the bandwagon, so
yeah,
happy to be there.
I love what our coach had to say about the bandwagon jumpers. He said if you weren't on by now, it's too late to stay off.
All right, well. Go
a
Niners.
Little harsh, but.
All right, then. Go Niners.
Oh, darn. So Thomas Wolf out to the race lead. Good for him, putting that 91 machine in front. He's got the 38 of Jacob Musial on the high side, and he's looking for something. He's got that Buffalo on the front. That's got to be Buffalo Wings. I'm trying to get looking on here. Yeah, Buffalo Wild Wings.
Ooh,
I don't know about Wild Wings.
That's a chain.
Is that gamey?
No, it's a chain. Chain of restaurants. You guys don't have them up in Canada, eh?
No, we don't get much in the igloo capital of the world.
Tell you the truck I like looking at, Dean. Let's get back on that 8 machine, boy. Bernard Persons carrying a paint scheme tonight that I just absolutely love. For those of you that are children of the Gen X generation, a lot of throwback here on Bernard Persons' truck.
Yeah, you got Tweety back there on the bumper.
Looks like Taz on the hood.
And Taz is on there.
Yeah, Looney Tunes. Yep, Marvin the Martian. Love it.
So all calm here, approaching lap 50 of 76. Pit stops imminent.
Imminent. That's a big word. I want to use that.
Break it up into syllables there, and you'll be fine.
Purely plagiarizing that word, Dean.
Oh, that's too many P's for me. So Speer, interestingly, has put himself in position here to win. Now, you know, Jason Speer, points leader, he's just really adept at these super speedway races. And he's done what you would do, right? He's put himself in position with just over 20 laps remaining, sitting here second on the bottom. He likes where he's at. I mean, this is what you do to win these races, isn't it, Baron?
Absolutely. You got to be in position to win it, and getting through that field can be easy, especially when everybody else has the same agenda. But if you do it early enough and you get to the front with enough time left, put yourself in a position to win it.
Yeah, and it's something that I failed at myself in racing these, is waiting too long. And you're right, everybody has the same idea. Now you're in a war to the front. Getting here a little earlier looks a little easier and a little calmer, and probably the better strategy.
Yeah, guys are willing to give you a little bit more room as you make your way forward, because they're not in a hurry. But once it stops being give and take and it's all take, that can become a problem.
So full group here. It looks like we got Daryl Speer, who's a lap down, Mike McMillan a lap down, Lester's out, Eberhardt out, Tiffany out, and William Gay out. Everybody else right in the lead pack. Palmer, actually, one guy struggling out here alone on the track. Boy, that's a lonely feeling, Baron.
Yeah, it sure is. You're out here just turning laps by yourself.
Losing about 2 seconds a lap usually, and it's just a matter of time before the pack catches you. You're praying for a caution. I'll tell you, when you see that pack coming behind you and they finally wreck, you feel like you struck gold.
Yeah, exactly. You know, the caution flag gives you a second life, but for now, it is just out there wasting time.
Wolf leading the usual. Speer and Klaus Williams and Gadina in your top 5. See the big old Snowco sign. Put that in the backyard.
Now that sign is absolutely massive, Dean. We took pictures by it. Where we camp is right in the background there on that scene right there, up by the big flags.
Now, what do you call camping, Baron? I don't picture you pitching a tent.
So we glamp. We're glampers. Yep. 34-foot trailer towed behind, and that's our homestead for 5 days, along with about 9 cases of beer.
Well, you gotta have the essentials. No doubt about that.
It's not worth the trip if you don't have that.
Now, fire pit mandatory.
Of course. Yep. Naturally.
Guitar is optional.
We bring a DJ. So yeah, cornhole board's a necessity, right? We have the International Cornhole Championship, and that's only because I'm Italian and we bring a Japanese guy with us.
You must be familiar with some bocce ball then.
Bocce ball, yeah.
Bocce ball.
Yep.
I played a lot of bocce ball when I was a kid. Great game.
And hockey.
Especially watching the old Italians do it.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing like it.
Yeah. It's an art form when they're doing it.
Back to racing. Thomas Wolfe still out front. Pit stops are imminent. 23 to go. They're right there now. So you're going to see your first group come down, I predict, this lap or next. And they're going to try and get a jump on everybody. We've seen what happened during the first set of pit stops. First in, got a big jump on everybody. Oh, high side. Someone trying to get down to the bottom. That's Musial. He can't get there.
He's found a way in, but boy, he's shoehorned in there.
He's still up on the high side. So Musial stuck up there. There was momentarily a gap, but can't quite get there. Anybody gonna take now? It doesn't look like it. we're well beyond pit road now, so everybody going to do another lap. My prediction's got just one more lap, Aaron, and then I'm a liar once again.
I prefer inaccurate.
Well, it is a little soft for sure.
Yeah. And that's what we are time and time again, Dean. Inaccurate.
Well, we're accurately inaccurate.
That's right.
So this is a big, big moment in the race here, folks. Who comes in? How do they do it? And here we go. Speer is in. So he's going to have his teammates with him, I do imagine.
Yep.
Speer is in.
Come.
And he's got the whole Speer clan with them. Person, Newton in as well. They do get in first this time. This is highly interesting.
Yep, and it could be the race-winning move. If they get on and off pit row under the same time, they get lined up, they could really put it on the field here, Dean, with 21 laps to go.
So Newton and Bruce in clean. Newton no tires. Left sides go on Bruce. Speer comes out ahead of them, which he does almost every time. And this is how he gets a lot of these wins. That last pit stop, Speer, look how good he is. Way out in front of everybody else.
Yeah, and so the 4 cars behind him have a car to catch up to now. That's going to be, here comes more pit stops, Dean. We got the other half of the field coming in here.
Yeah, a lot of guys coming in. Looks like Wolf, Whitting, Ratliff, Gadina, Dibble, Walker, Tony Ratliff, Gilly, and Semple all on pit road.
Big pack here, Dean. So be on the lookout now. That first pack should be organized now. If they can manage to get together and get going. Oh, a quick stop by some of these guys in the back.
Yeah, very good times here. We're going to look at those. Up to our leaders. Here comes Ware, Travis, Musial, Racone. They're definitely going to be coming in this time, or so I think anyway.
There they come.
Some coming, some not coming. So 4 or 5 of them going to stay out. That's Travis, Ware, Williams, and Passmore. And a lap car going to stay out on the track. Musial, Racone, Klaus, Williams, and Holland all on pit road. Looks like when we shake out our guys out on the track, it's Whitting and Greg Ratliff out front. Speer rocking the high side, trying to come up on them, and they're going to blow right on by here. That's Team Speer all lined up, and the 4 of them go to the front.
It's a great strategy by these 2 groups, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough to separate them, as these guys will get lined up and it'll be one big pack again.
Well, it will, but some of these guys are going to be lost off, so it's going to be a big pack, but not a whole pack here, Baron. And you got Ware and Passmore, Williams, and Travis still on the track. They're going to be really hurting here by the time they pit. I think what they're thinking is short fuel, but the time they're losing out on the track in this small group, not very well organized, is just too much.
Yeah, that's not going to be enough to win the race here. So 18 to go. These guys are hoping for a yellow flag now. Otherwise, they are going to sacrifice the lead and maybe more.
Yeah, I mean, they're losing tenths of a second every corner. I mean, they're just getting murdered by Speer and them behind them. They're losing close to a second a lap at this point. The 23 dives in aggressively. I like that. He has to have a good stop. Passmore first in if he can get it woed down. And he's a little shaky with it, so that's going to cost him. He'll fall back to the back of the group. In the meantime, while these guys come on pit road, here comes Speer, Curtis, Aberg, Gadina, and Whitting with a few others with them, and they're going to blow right on by. So this is going to be your race, folks. You see these guys coming off pit road. They have no shot at catching these guys now with 17 to go.
So what was 29 cars now gets dialed back to about 12. So interesting way to finish the race here, Dean. But Team Speer didn't put it on anybody tonight. They learned their lesson from Daytona.
Yeah, they did. A lot of guys learned here, and they still let them get in first here on this last run, which was a little odd to see that be let happen again. But nonetheless, they're in it, and they got work to do, though. They got to form up on the outside. They got 28 of Racone leading the way. Person goes up there to try and lead that outside lane. I'm not sure if that was
price,
he's paying in the middle. I think he was thinking we'll control both lines, but that's not going to happen for him here.
No, he is paying the price.
Wow, Racone gets down in front of him and helps him out. So Racone leaves his guys hanging and helps out Bernard Person.
Well, co-opetition, right, Dean?
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, it's every man for himself unless you're friends. So things getting nervous out here. 16 to go. See, we got a few views back on YouTube. Sorry for any earlier problems. Not sure what was going on with YouTube, but seems to have straightened itself out.
New leader out here now.
Racone. So Racone makes that move and shuffles himself to the lead, with a little help from Bernard Person. Now Person on the outside, he's leading Witten, I believe, right. Now I'm doing it, saying it both ways, Baron. Great Ratliff right in this thing. And, Speer being shuffled back, so he's got to be highly frustrated. He's sitting here third on the inside now.
Person's out front now. So old Looney Tunes out there leading the way. I mean the truck, not the driver.
He's going to put Whitting up here. He's being pushed by Greg Ratliff. These guys and Tony Ratliff up there as well. They're going to try and push this out to the lead here. And you get Racone in the middle of the Team Speer guys, so that breaks them up a little bit. This is highly interesting.
So, Dean, why can't they push each other all the way around the track constantly?
Well, the thing is, you actually can. You just can't get up and start hitting on the guy in front of you. If you do, you push him out in front of you and you get an accordion effect and it'll break that air. If you get right within about an inch of that bumper and just lock yourself there, you can stay there through the corner, through the entire run. Now, contact in the corners is a no-no.
I disagree.
That's fine. Well, tell me your theory.
I'm totally the guy that will hit in the corners. If the driver in front of me has a stable machine, we'll push right through the corners and come out the other side in front. But if you got somebody who's dancing around in front, you can turn them. But these trucks got big, wide, flat bumpers. The noses line up well. A lot of space to push on. Up with the tailgate. Just give me your bumpers so I can get you out front, and they'll just get out front.
For me, contact has always been not only unnecessary, but a detriment to speed. So any hitting of any kind is not what you want. To get as close as humanly possible without hitting and to stay there has always been my goal.
Things getting dicey up front. Team Speer trying to get together out here. Bernie's leading the outside line now.
Yeah, and he's got his teammates with him, so they're all lined up now. I don't know how they shuffled that all together, but they got three of them nose to tail, and I think they like the high side at this point, Baron. There's going to be a little more speed up there coming to the line.
A little more speed, a lot more space. Guys on the inside line now, if they have to check up for any reason, that could be calamity, and then you lose a lot of momentum. So, I like this move by Bernie up here.
Quick check in on the other group here. led by Thomas Wolf. Now they are currently losing time to the leaders, so they're just not going to be able to get up here and fight for it unless they get really hooked up or really fast. Back up front. Racone on the inside with Gadina, and it's Person and Speer on the outside.
The business about to pick up here, Dean, with almost 10 to go here. Really looking forward to see what these boys have in store. This pack has been reduced to about half the field. We get some really fast trucks up here, Dean.
Well, they're real nice right now, Baron. We're coming down to 10 to go. Now, you did say earlier, 20 to go to get into position, 10 to go to really go racing. And that's kind of what everybody's mindset is. So expect a third lane. Expect things to get a little dicey here. And dare I say, the possibility of a wreck goes through the roof once we hit 10 to go.
Well, the odds definitely go up, and you'll see that third line starting to form now. It won't take long before they're 3 wide all the way back through the field.
You get the 18, not Aber, but Semple in the middle. He's trying to pick a middle, but the door's being closed on him.
That third line trying to form now. Got some trucks up there thinking better of it. Got one on the inside, and he said, I've had enough of that. Y'all going to wreck.
That's a lap car of Mike McMillan, so he just doesn't want to ruin anybody's
Oh, he just bailed out. Okay, yeah, smart.
Yeah, classic move by Mike there. So 10 to go, coming down to 9 to go here. Race leader at the line going to be Bernard Person. Third lane starting to form up.
Got a lap car out in front of this field right now.
That's Whitting up there on the high side.
Now on the low side.
He's got the 5 car with him. So that's going to be Greg Ratliff up there with that high line. And you got Newton at the back end of it. So we're about to go 3 wide here, 9 to go here in the Talladega 200. Having
Now, if these boys
getting that energy up there.
Yeah, well, I'm saying that the boys on the outside, they need to lean on each other a little bit more if they're going to make this work.
And we're seeing a little blocking. It's not blocking, but kind of trying to kill that air, Baron. Talk a little bit about that. You kind of dart out there and take that air off that run.
Yeah, these guys are trying to slow that outside line down by going up to the quarter panel and managing a little air disruption, which slows the truck down. So if these guys are smart, pin it right up on top and let the speed of the trucks take them on by without worrying about that side draft.
Right now, Team Speer lined up on the inside, 1, 2, and 3. They got Racone and Semple on the outside.
We saw this earlier in the race. Guys abandoning the middle lane.
Yeah, the middle lane, I mean, I actually like the middle lane, but I don't like it when there's only 2 of us, Baron. We need some help down there.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's just enough to keep you in contention, but it's not enough to put you out front.
Yeah, that's pretty much standard middle lane stuff. You can get somewhere. If you're in 10th, you can get up there to 4th or something, but trying to get that win's another story. Doing a great job, though. That 28 machine coming up through the middle. Racone looking for the lead. On the outside, it's Whitting looking to put his car out front. And the low line going to come in 3rd here at the line by the looks of it. So they're in trouble as Team Speer. Racone, your leader, he slips down in front of Person. That shuts down Team Speer. The middle now opened up for the 18 of Semple, and they're wrecking. Big wreck.
Yellow flag.
The 5, the 26 involved. That's, oh, and a late wreck there. That looks like Lester, perhaps. So all hell breaking loose here.
Well, you called it, Dean.
Well, I didn't like to call that. Let's get a look in and see what happened here.
Yep. Looks like two guys just getting a little too close. That's not it.
So you see here, 3 wide. Everybody pushing hard. Ratliff checks up, Newton checks up, and he's turned, and that's a chain reaction there.
Yeah, it looks like Newton got a little too much help there and turned into the inside lane.
You see a little chain reaction there, check up, and bam, bam. Fred Flintstone, bam, bam for you.
We're taking out all the Looney Tunes, huh? Where's Captain Caveman when we're at it?
Oh, what exit stage left?
Yep, missed those Saturday morning cartoons.
Well, 5 to go. Going to be about 3 to go. Could be a green-white checker here, Baron. Racone in the driver's seat. Person, Simple, Speer, Whitting, Bruce, Abear, Ratliff, Walker, and Newton, your top 10. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, business is about to pick up, huh?
It certainly is. And I'm not sure we're done wrecking quite yet. Newton hits pit road.
Well,
And
the pay
that
window's
doesn't look
open.
like a race-winning car, Baron.
No, that's got good cooling, though.
That it does.
Yep. Race window, the pay window's open, man. Guys are looking to get this checkered flag.
So some of these guys coming in for service, others coming in because they have no choice. Palmer going to put some rubber on the machine. Now, if you're going to go get into tight places, it's good to have rubber, isn't it, Baron?
Definitely, especially if you don't know her. You set them up, I'll knock them down, brother.
Not sure who was going around getting that lucky dog there, but someone was, looks like maybe Daryl Speer, the lucky dog here. Nice looking Caterpillar machine. Everybody likes Caterpillar machines, don't you?
That's right. Tonka toys are for men.
Four to go. Racone. Now, Racone's done a hell of a job out here, Baron. He's been fighting all night. He hasn't been interested in any of this team Speer stuff. He'll slip in the middle of them. He'll get help from them. He'll push in front of them. He's just pretty much ignored them and raced his own race, and he's leading. Bernard Person sitting there. Simple's had a good night too, running that Miller genuine draft machine.
Well, throwback to Rusty Wallace there in his old MGD car.
Yeah, Rusty putting the number 2 out there was
Yeah.
some good days for Rusty. Never a big Rusty fan, but I certainly respected his ability.
Great battles with he and Dale Earnhardt. Amazing battles. And it was the Goodwrench Black number 3 and the Black MGD number 2. It was classic.
Some classic paints. I always liked the Kellogg's machine. Terry Labonte.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Bobby had the interstate batteries.
Yes, sir.
Oh, the good old days.
Jeff Burton and
I think we're old, Baron.
We are? Jeff Burton in the Exide car. Ward Burton in the Cat machine.
Oh, yes. Start talking with the Skull Bandits here.
Got that right. Harry Gant.
Well, now, what did Cale Yarborough used to run?
Now the Hardy's machine.
Three to go. Hearts are a pounding here, Baron. Go in car here with a couple of these guys, going with Tony Ratliff. And I'm not sure we can hear his heart or anything, but I assure you it's pounding right now. Chance to win.
3 to go. It doesn't get any more nerve-wracking than this, Dean, and everybody wants to win Talladega. It's getting there. That's the trouble.
I mean, you're here now. Are you happy in the top 10? Or is victory so close you must go for it?
At this point in the season, Dean, give me that checkered flag.
Checkers or wreckers for Baron?
Bingo.
Reminds me of the movie 300, you know? She said,
This is Sparta.
Come home on your sword, or I forget.
And your shield.
Yes. Here we go. Raccoon, Person, Simple, and Speer up front. 3 to go to crown a champion in the Talladega 200.
Green, green, green.
Green flag down and away. Good start by both lanes here. The Speer group up top, all hooked up. Bottom, slightly formed, a little slow. 3 cars together. They need more help to hold off that mighty Speer group on the high side.
Yeah, they sure do. 3 cars there is not enough to hold off 4, but help is coming in that Cat machine.
18 Simple trying to push as hard as he can. It looks like they're going to be beat here, though. Person and Speer, along with Bruce on that high side, almost clear of them. They are clear. They're going to hold that high line for now, though. And no, Speer comes down. They're going to control both lanes.
Got shuffled out there, so now, yeah, they're going to...
Oh, and he gets turned, contact, and they're wrecking. Guys spinning Simple. Big trouble. There goes Klaus Williams. Passmore is up here.
That's
Carnage.
Unfortunate.
And we're going to go green-white checker here. That was unfortunate there. It looked like Jason Speer kind of got shuffled out. When he got in, he got a tap on the rear. He got a little loose, and then it was on from there. Let's see if we get a look at this. See a little way up at the front here. They get out of sorts. There goes Speer. Down. It comes back on. And there was a secondary incident and a third.
Yeah, I think guys were checking up, and it shocked the rest of the field, and we had a little bit of a kerfuffle.
Yes, definitely kerfuffle time. Well, guys will regroup. Those who survived will get back in line and do this one more time.
You mean we got more Talladega racing?
We're in extra innings.
I love it.
So the car you like so much is out here in front right now. Now, does he have to drive like a Tasmanian devil? What's he got to do up here?
Yeah, I think that's going to help at this point. But Darren Bruce is there with him, and Jason Speer looks like he's still in the hunt. So these guys are going to try to get organized as best they can. But it looks like, well, Jorge Rincon, been up there all night. We've talked about him. He's there, and he's got Tony Ratliff there, too. So...
well, the interesting thing here, Baron, is nobody teammate-wise is going to be nose to tail. So it's going to be every man for himself here at the end, and that's going to bring a whole new element to this race.
Yeah, I totally agree. So whoever's got the fastest line wins at this point.
Newton down on pit road, Semple, Abaird down there, a few others, Whitting, Dibble. So lots of guys not ending the way they want. A couple of them might get back out here yet. Get going, Semple, says Brig Jones.
I haven't talked about Paul K. Travis tonight very much. In the top 10 right now, Travis in that 88 machine. He's having a solid evening. Michael Walker the second, the 2022.
Yeah, Michael Walker. haven't gotten much airtime at all.
Nope.
Rocking that Atlanta Braves there, and I just called extra innings. He's got the baseball car, maybe a little synergy there.
He's on to something there, yep, for sure.
Out of Cherryville, North Carolina. Never heard of Cherryville, but it sounds like a lovely place.
Sounds like a racer's town.
It does. Anything with an NC on the end of it sounds like a racer's town.
Pretty much.
Ricky Williams up here in the fight. Michael Ware. You got Ken Allen, Passmore. These guys are involved in that wreck, so I'm not sure if Passmore and Klaus Williams are okay or not. They look all right, Baron.
We'll find out when that green flag flies.
Up front, so you do have Speer leading both lanes. The question is, will people push them or will they shuffle them out? Now, I'd ask you, Baron, but I already know. You're going to the front no matter what. So whoever you got to shuffle out or whoever you got to push around, that's what you're going to do. Pretty
much. That's the story, Dean. Teammates are great, and you do need some, but whoever you're working with right now is your teammate for now.
For about a corner.
Yeah, it could be that fast, yep.
So Bruce will lead the outside lane. He'll have Tony Ratliff right behind him. You got Gilly up there. Gilly having a nice run. He's up 22 spots. Him and Tony Ratliff are both. You got Musial up here, and then Ricky Williams. On the low side, it's Person, Riccone, Speer, and Thomas Wolfe. Pace car takes one last drink out of his big bottle of booze, and he'll head down to pit road.
Or he broadcasts on Wind Tunnel TV.
Yeah, come on up to the booth with that. Here we go. Person and Bruce lead them down the final laps of the Talladega 200.
Team orders here, Dean. Think he tells him when he's going?
I think he probably does. I mean, they want to control these lanes. They're green. Let's go racing.
Dead even start. Yep.
Speer really pushing that 28 machine. He's all over the back of Riccone. Riccone to the back of the 8 machine now. The inside lane starts to move. Outside lane's got to form up quickly. They're not quite there. 28 takes a peek to go up. Does not.
Darren Bruce to the high side, a name we haven't called very much. Darren Bruce leading that top line.
Darren starting to get ahead of steam together. He's got Tony Ratliff with him. They're all formed up now. They're starting to get a run. Here comes the high side. We're about to get the white flag here in the Talladega 200.
Third line trying to form. Doesn't look like he's got any help up there. Darren Bruce leads that lap on the final lap.
Yeah, Bruce on the high side, the race leader. Got a big lead. That inside's got to do some heavy pushing. The 28 of Racone all over the back. Now Bernard Person. They're even coming down the back straightaway. People fanning out. Oh, and they're wrecking. Big wreck. Will stay with their leaders. There goes Speer to the outside wall. Contact everywhere. Bruce and Ratliff, Gilly, your top three. We continue racing down to the last corner. It's going to be Bruce against Ratliff. Ratliff to the outside. They're coming down to the line. Here comes Ratliff. Gilly with a big push. It's going to be Tony Ratliff at the line. Gilly going to come home in second. Bruce falls to third. Person into fourth.
Big one at the end, Dean. Shook that whole thing up. That's Talladega for you. That's racing. I love it.
That's how Talladega goes. Late carnage brought home the victory. Tony Ratliff played it better than anybody else. Waited, made his move at precisely the right time. Got a little help. Todd Gilly pushes him through, and he ends up in victory lane.
Yeah, shout out for the assist on the 19 machine of Toadman Gilly.
Let's get a look at a replay here, Baron, of that wreck. Kind of had to stay with their leaders, and well, you can see there's wrecking going on. So let's see what happened here. Everybody was shuffling out. They were trying to shuffle out Bernard Person at the very front, that red car, trying to get underneath him. That was a 28 trying to get down there underneath him, and he gets hooked a little bit there, just got out of line, and it gets ugly from there.
And you might think, that was an intentional move. Believe me, split-second decisions in a pack like that, all you can do is hope you made the right one.
Yeah, there's nothing intentional there. Guys making unorthodox moves down inside, outside, and stuff is bound to happen. And poor Darren Bruce is helpless here on the low side. Big momentum from Tony Ratliff brings home the checkered flag. A great job here, and we love to see a new winner. Tony gets into victory lane. Sharp looking car, and he's going to sit there. Well, he's going to head to the garage. He said there's celebrating to do, Baron.
There's beer in the garage.
Definitely there is. Well, let's take a short commercial break, then we'll come back. We'll get in. All right, back here at Talladega, where we had just a thrilling finish there. For some, for others, carnage, Baron, and that pretty much sums up Dega.
That pretty much is it. Got everything I wanted. Got a little drama, got a little fuel mileage. We had a little caution at the end and a green-white checkered Dean. It was awesome.
It certainly was awesome. Always awesome to watch these guys fight and strategize. And we bring in our third place finisher right now, the 15 of Darren Bruce, who was trying to do as much strategizing as he could and ends up in third. A good points night. Perhaps not quite what you wanted, but you'll take this one, won't you, Darren?
Anytime you finish in the top 5 of these plate tracks, you take it.
Absolutely. Tell us a little bit about the end there. It was a little bit hard with the teammates. You had a couple of cars between you and stuff and different lines, and hard to get hooked up. It was kind of every man for himself, wasn't it?
Yeah, we done good staying together there, and that run there, I think 2 cautions for the end were Bernie's first and Jason was second. Now it's third was coming out of the turn there, and I was telling him to stay high because I knew that outside line was going to come, and I don't know if Jason misunderstood, didn't hear. He went down, and that kind of shuffled him back. But we done pretty good.
Yeah, you guys were doing great. You played your strategy late there. You managed to get first in. Now, were you surprised after the first run when you weren't first in? Later in the race, after a caution under green flag conditions, you were able to get first in. Did that surprise you at all?
Well, to begin with, we were trying to make it to lap 26 we were going to try to make it on 2 stops, and that caution kind of that's why we wasn't in early. That's why them other guys went in before we did the first run. But the second run, the cautions nullified that, so we was able to come in early.
Well, it was a thrilling finish there at the end. You come around, you're on the inside. Not much you could do, Darren. A bit of a helpless feeling when you see that guy behind you pull out, isn't it?
Yeah, I knew I was a sitting duck at that point when they was lined up behind me. I could have went up and tried to block, but 99% of the time when you do that, it causes a wreck. And I'll take my top three and be happy.
Absolutely, you take a top three, another solid finish here, and a great points night. You move on from here, feeling good about yourself and looking forward to the next one. I'm sure we'll see you next week, Darren.
Yes, sir. Wouldn't miss it. This is a great league.
All right, Darren. You want to give any shout outs? You go right ahead, my friend.
Oh yeah, I want to thank Todd what he does for the league. RGR and Wind Tunnel Racing. Got Wind Tunnel on the back of my truck here. Like nice little paint job we got here. And thank you guys for doing the broadcast. And I forgot it last time I talked to you, but I always want to thank my wife for letting me do this and say hello to my grandchildren. They like to watch.
All right, Darren. That was Darren Bruce, third place finisher, and he's got some grandkids out there watching. You got to love that.
That's a family affair, and that's racing. And speaking of family affairs, Todd, the Toad Man Gilly, right here with us tonight. Todd, you didn't win the race, but you certainly get the assist award this evening. Talk about your evening.
Oh, it was a great night for me. It was a great night for the team, and it was a great night for the league. It was our biggest car count since we started the league in June. I mean, we're damn near 30 cars now, and uh, I just couldn't be happier about the way it went. We ended up there. They wrecked behind us during the green white checkered, and I just had a chance to push Tony for the win, and he went to the right, and I went with him, and here we are. Couldn't be happier, man.
Amazing last lap pass. Green White Checkers produced some really great racing here at Talladega. We were watching you throughout the night, Todd. Back to the front several times. Were you testing the waters, or were you just getting shuffled?
We did. We ran a very specific fuel strategy race, and we pitted when we wanted to pit, with the exception of the first the caution the one time there. We pitted exactly when we wanted to pit. That ended up, sends you to the back, and as long as this track's so big, you're not going to go a lap down. So it worked out for us, man. We knew we had good cars.
So tonight you worked with your teammates, you worked with some other guys on the track. Was Team Speer high on your radar to try to keep them behind you?
Team Speer, in our league, if you want to win on the plate tracks, you got to beat Team Speer. You got to beat Speer Motorsports, man. They know their strategies. Nobody's better at pushing each other. So yes, definitely. That's target number one when we race the plate tracks. Sorry.
No, it makes complete sense. Look, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. So, Todd, who you want to thank for your second place finish tonight? Anybody want to shout out to?
My goodness, I want to thank so many people you can't imagine. First of all, I want to thank every member of this league. I'm the president of the league. I'm proud of every guy that's in here. I want to thank Travis Rogers for getting me to where I am equipment-wise. He's been very generous to me. I want to thank all my admins. There's like 10 of them, so I'm not going to list them all, but I want to thank all of them and just all my league members, and, of course, my wife, Jenny, and the families that let us all do this and spend so much time and money doing it.
Well, Dean, that is Todd Gilly out there, your second place finisher, Mr. Assist tonight. We're happy to have him here and happy to have him running this league.
Yeah, absolutely. Him rocking the Kailu glass machine, taking it to second. Just great to see for Todd. But I'm down here in victory lane with the number 6, Tony Ratliff. Congratulations, Tony. What a victory.
Well, thank you very much, Dean. Man, what a dogfight. That's the only way I can describe that race. It was such close racing, hard racing. I really hated I made that mistake and hooked Adam there. I feel terrible about that. But I think it was kind of bound to happen. I was just the bad guy that finally made a mistake.
Yeah, well, you said it. It was bound to happen. I mean, a slight checkup up there, and they kind of bottled everything up. But one's misfortune leads to others' fortune, Tony, and you got to accept your wins when they come. You're up here running around the front all night. What were you learning as the race went on, as it developed? I mean, there's a little bit of three wide early on. Everybody nice and clean up there. Were you learning anything about the different lanes and the movements of the cars?
Actually, yes. I did see that very top groove. I feel like with a good combination of drivers that could keep their fenders in line, could actually move. And it wasn't a choice really to a first choice place to run. I was comfortable on the bottom or the too wide there in the middle, but never really figured I'd go for that top groove. But kind of got put in a position where you had to use it, so it was good to know that you could move forward with it.
Yeah, you definitely could. I mean, you just need to be a little hooked up there with a few cars, and you guys got it rocking. Tony, I mean, at the end there, what were you thinking? I mean, you're coming out, people are wrecking around. It comes down to basically a three-man shootout. I mean, it looks like you hit the timing, everything perfect. Did you have a plan like that? Was it just a guess? How did it work out for you?
Well, I'll tell you, Dean. Before the wreck, when we got going there, um, Todd was right behind me, which um, thank you, Todd. He made the
Yes,
difference.
sir.
But I seen Bernie there and Darren, and I actually told Todd, I said, if Darren stays up in the upper groove, we might have a shot. And I was surprised he did, really. I didn't know where he was going. I thought he might go to the bottom there, and line up in front of Bernie. That might have been a little different outcome. But when he didn't, and I didn't even know the whole field wrecked or there was a big wreck behind me, I was looking straight ahead only. And when we come out of the corner, I knew I only had one shot, and I took it and had the momentum. Darren held his line and raced me clean to the line, and a very exciting finish. And I did not expect to get that win. Like I told the boys, it was a little bittersweet. Really hated getting into Adam. He's a top-notch racer and just a great guy. And it was an accident, and I think he knows that. But that's my only regret of this race. It was other than that, it was stellar.
Yeah, definitely a stellar job, and I'm sure Adam appreciates that. That you guys did an excellent job, man, and you pulled out just at the right time, I thought. And Talladega just—it's so prone to that. The start finish line is so far away, and you had to be thinking that actually as you're coming through that area, just how much time it takes to get to the finish. You're like, come on, where's that start finish line?
It felt like a 30-minute drive off of four. You are so right. You couldn't have described that any better. When you got a nose out front, you got a fast truck underneath you, and I couldn't see him. I could hear him, and I just didn't really know where everyone was. I did see that Kailu glass forward in my mirror, though, and that made me feel good. And yeah, I bet it felt like a long way down there. It sure did.
Well, Tony, you had a heck of a night. Big win. Congrats on that. And you're going to move up in the points here. You're within striking distance of the championship. Has that entered your mind at all?
Well, I mean, you can't help but think about it a little bit. But all you can do is go out every race and just do your best. And as they say, just let the chips fall where they may, and the points will take care of themselves if you get on a hot streak, and that's about what you have to do with these boys. That everything has to fall just perfect to get a win here, and at any track. So really tickled to get the win. Been a while, so yeah, I do kind of cherish it in that way.
Well, congrats on that and the points. And we look forward to seeing you next week, Tony, and your continued run in this championship series here at RGR Racing. You got any shout outs, any sponsors you want to thank? You go right ahead.
Well, I think Todd a double shot tonight. as president of the league and just a great spokesman for the league. And all he does, him and George, thank you, boys, and a double whammy there, Todd, for that push there at the end. Made the difference, buddy. Appreciate it. Thank you, Dean, Barron, you guys, all you guys there at Wind Tunnel. Do a great job. Feel like we're getting to know each other better. And I can tell you guys are kind of know who's who here, as far as personalities and stuff. And that's cool to watch. Enjoy that a lot.
Well, Tony, I can tell you one thing. I know Barron well, and you said double shot. It's dry January for Barron, so that wasn't very nice.
It'll be wet February after this.
Oh, man. I'm sorry, Barron.
Wasn't my idea.
Congrats, Tony. Hell of a race, man. Good to see you in Victory Lane. Barron, the number 6, Tony Ratliff, down in Victory Lane tonight.
Yeah, congratulations to Tony. Great man, great guy, and a great winner tonight. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and Tony had a little bit of both tonight.
Well, he did, and he was good all night, though, Barron. I mean, you can't take anything away from him. He ran around the front all night long, positioned, as you like to say. He wasn't riding around the back. He was in position to win this thing. He earned it. He got it. So, big shout out to him.
Absolutely. And shout out to everybody watching us tonight on YouTube land. We appreciate you being here week in and week out. And it was a lot of fun.
And speaking of week out, that's going to be our out. And we'll be here next Thursday, 9:10 p.m. We're here every week with the RGR Racing League. But from Talladega, where Tony Ratliff hits Victory Lane, that's going to wrap it up. And we'll see you right here next time on Wind Tunnel TV.